Hello everyone, today I'll be talking about my two saxophones, which is the YTS62 right here. This is a purple logo with a Mark III neck, and I also have the Trevor James signature custom raw at the back. So I'll be talking about their differences and which one I actually would prefer using for my gigs. But I'm planning for this video to be as quick and as direct as possible. So on to the first saxophone. This is the YTS62 purple logo, which I bought from Daniel Chia. And I have been using this one for a span of 3 months. So I guess I have enough time to actually make a comment or a review about this saxophone. So all in all, this saxophone is a very flexible performer because it really performs. And the only thing that I've noticed about this saxophone is that volume wise it's quite on the low side of the volume compared to the Trevor James. The Trevor James fills the whole room with its volume whenever I use it. But in terms of tone, I actually like how I sound on this one with the modern 62 neck, because I tried the purple logo neck and I didn't really like how mute I felt when I played with it. So yeah, so that's why I use this setup with it. On to the next saxophone is the Trevor James signature custom raw, which is my first professional tenor saxophone, which I have upgraded from a China-made saxophone, which is also quite nice. It served me 6 years. And yeah, what can I say? Tone wise, this one is very big. It's a very big sounding saxophone, and I like how dark the sound I get from this one. But sometimes I do feel the lack of the brightness on this saxophone compared to the 62. Whereas when I try the 62, or when I use the 62, I sometimes miss the low end grunt that I get from this saxophone. So a bit of review also. I ran into some troubles with this saxophone. More like I think it was my fault because I had it serviced in a very rushed setting. So I gave it to my technician, and then I asked him to do a cleaning job because I have been using it for a year without any cleaning, or without any proper cleaning. So I had it do it 3 days. Yeah, so he had 3 days to clean it, and he also has other saxophones that he has to work with, so I don't blame him. And I did ran into some troubles because my technician said he soaked this one in a soap bath. So I noticed after a month of the maintenance or the cleaning job, I noticed some what do you call this? Some rust on the pads, the pad resonators that I've fitted on this one, because I changed the pads from the original one to a Pristini professional pads. So yeah, I noticed some rust, and now I had to remove all the pads with rust, or actually I just changed all the pads back to the original one. So it's now back into its I would say stock setting. Yeah, so that's the trouble, and also some lousy key actions before, after a month, and I think that's because of the soap residue from the soap bath that he did on my saxophone. Also, what else? I think that's it. That's about it. That's what happened with this saxophone, which I would say that was partly my fault because I asked him to do a rush job to rush it. So yeah, lesson learned: if you ever have your saxophone maintained or do a maintenance job on it, don't ever rush the technician. Give them their own time so they can do it properly on your saxophone. Yeah, so now I changed the pads to its original pads, and the stock setting, the key heights are good, the what else? I mean, I also ran into some um, octave mechanism problems. Yeah, but I think that's because of the cleaning job that he did. What else? I also noticed. Oh, but yeah, this is a big thing. When I changed the pads of this one from the original to the Pristine ones, I noticed, and I'll insert some pictures over here. I noticed that the pads only had glue in the middle of it, and it's not just one pad. It's like all the pads. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys are gonna have this problem as well, because I noticed it because I was noticing that every week I had to check for leaks on this saxophone. That was before. Okay, that was before I changed the pads. And the problem was I thought the problem was the material itself. Like I thought the brass was really soft, but yeah, I think it's just because of the amount of glue that's on the pad. So yeah, it's right here. I'll post a picture here. And yeah, so that's mainly the problem I got from this saxophone. But okay, now on to the sound or the play testing, so you guys can compare. Okay, now on to the decision of which saxophone I actually prefer to use. I would say it depends, and the reason why is because I would say it's mainly because of the finish. I'm particularly okay with the tone of both the saxophones. I can manage to be flexible between these two saxophones, so I actually find myself to prefer using the Yamaha on um, small settings, like lounge type of music. It just gives me the what do you call this? It just resonates well when it comes to those kinds of settings. Whereas when I use this one, I actually feel that I'm too loud. Yeah, so I use this in my during my lounge gigs or hotel gigs, and I would say the singer didn't like how I played with this one compared to this one. I mean, I don't know if the singer actually liked my playing, but yeah. So so I probably will use these two saxophones. What do you call this? Not at the same time, but more like will depend on the setting. So if I'm in a full band, I will use this because the dark tone of this one actually suits the full band actually much better compared to the brighter sound of this one. Because I also found myself that when I play with a full band using this one, I found myself struggling to hear myself, even with the microphones and in-ear monitors. Yeah, so I guess that's about it. So I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and I know I haven't been uploading much because I've been so busy at work. Yeah, I'm teaching full-time now in a school, like not really full-time teacher, but more like I teach every day. So that's like from 7 a.m. to 5 a.m., sometimes 6 p.m. I end at 6 p.m. So I don't really have the time to record much covers or do some videos, but I do have some fun in experimenting with my saxophones. So yeah, that's it. Bye bye.